All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. Hey, I want to take a look at something really quick with you guys. Just give me a second. I was looking at this yesterday, and I was thinking, man, this South African rand, it's got a little farther to go, but I knew it was closing in on some pretty key support. I've played this before, and I'm actually, I think I'm going to buy a little bit right now, and I just bought a smidgen of it. But what I want to do is let's take a real quick look at, see, I knew we were closing on really key support here, and there's a 786 retracement, and because the market is a little risk averse, I'm already long I'm already long the US dollar Mexican peso, which is, it's obviously working against me at the moment. And I'm still sitting in that small size, and I haven't decided to add to it yet, but I thought I'd spread a little bit as far as selling some emerging market currencies should the market get a little bit dicey here. And I'll talk about the market just in general for a moment before we go into our majors. But this U.S. dollar South African rand, it's like a lot of these other emerging market currencies. When you have some risk, oops, oh, I just hit my microphone. When you have some risk aversion, these emerging market currencies can get hit, and that's why I still believe that the U.S. dollar Mexican peso will turn here soon. But you'll notice we're right on really key, and here, let me just draw this out for you. We're really on key, what I would consider as key support. All right, let's remove that. Remove that really quick. Okay, and we're basically right here. We might come down just a little bit further, but I didn't want to sit here and watch it. But I'm really more worried about the equity markets. Let's take a, let me get rid of these real quick. Let's go over to the equity markets, and I want to show you the E-mini futures. Okay, so yesterday, okay, we had a bearish engulfing pattern. All right, and here let's delete everything. I can redraw everything, so it's not a big deal. All right, so here is your. Actually, let me delete that really quick. I'm going to use a different type of drawing tool. Remove that. Let's do that, and let's do basically this. All right, roughly. Okay. All right. All right, so you can see the key support that we're on, right? You guys all see that? Okay, so we're on key support as far as equities go. That is yesterday a bearish engulfing pattern in the S&P. Now the S&P yesterday was yeah, and here let me just so you guys, I can just point it all out. See how the candle is taller than this candle? See how the body engulfs the previous body? Obviously the candle is bigger than that candle. So we have a bearish engulfing candle. They're most powerful when they're at the very highs. So obviously when you get a bearish engulfing candle at the high, that's usually the most powerful. But when we're in a pretty solid uptrend and we're near the highs, that to me is still, in my opinion, pretty significant. Okay, now with that being said, we've got this bearish engulfing candle, we're really at key support, and as far as channel support goes, and you can take this and just draw it kind of like that. What that means is if we break today's or yesterday's lows in the S&P, so yesterday in U.S. trade, North American trade rather. We spike down at the end of the day. If we break this 2065, I don't think you have any choice but to be short emerging market currencies. And with the bearish engulfing candle there, okay, with the bearish engulfing candle on the daily, and with us sitting on support, I feel that we're going to break down today at some point. Maybe not right at this very second in time or moment in time, but it's quite possible. So when or if that happens, I don't want to sit here and try to figure out exactly when that's going to happen. I just rather be short a little bit of U.S. dollar or some South African rand, being long U.S. dollar, South African rand, and then I can buy more if we break down. And that's going to provoke me to actually quite possibly buy some more pesos. So it's just some food for thought. Okay, we have obviously a lot to do, so let's get to it. Let me grab our bias chart. Okay, let's go view Zoom. Okay, there we go. All right, so our bias chart, and let's get to our analysis. Let's go over to the euro. So I am short the euro dollar. Fortunately, I picked up some euro hedges yesterday, buying the euro Aussie and euro New Zealand, but and those should perform well should the market get risk averse, and that's what I thought last night, and that's why I bought some. Or yesterday, that's why I bought some Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand yesterday. If you look at the here, there's the daily of the euro dollar. Okay, obviously we're rallying up towards 114. What I did is I took a 4-hour chart and I connected these lows here. All right, and then I put the same up here. Okay. And what that does is it gives us, interestingly enough, basically it took us right to basically the spike highs, I mean, roughly, okay? And so we should have resistance up here. Now, if you take 127% extension of this move, that takes us a little higher, maybe 114.50, which is possible, but right now I'm probably going to end up marking up the the 114.50 resistance for now. Okay, but just I realize I don't even know if we're going to make it all the way up there. I'm kind of skeptical that we take out the overnight highs at this point in time. All right, now support for the euro dollar. Support be 113.50. Okay, 113.50 should be pretty good support for today. If we break through that, then the dollar's probably rallying for whatever reason. Now we do have some data obviously coming out in less than an hour, so that could be the deciding factor. But our data that we've had recently has been so weak. All right, so 113.50 to 114.50, we are in a range. We're just getting towards the upper end of our range. I mean, but if you look at the longer term, we're just in a range here. Okay, let's go over to the cable. So here's the pound, and the pound actually has shown a bit of a reversal today. We hit the 127% extension, which is the 146.50, which also coincides with this really critical resistance over here at 146.60, and we rejected there. Now, Does that mean we're not going to break out? No, but what this really does is it highlights the importance in here. I'm going to delete this, but you can the same still applies from yesterday, right? Nothing's different. I don't feel like moving all those little lines, so I'm just going to delete them. Okay. Resistance is at 146.70 and support is, I want to say it's the lows here, but it's actually going to be a little bit lower, 145.50. Okay. All right, and those are key levels, guys, because again, I didn't want to redraw them. I didn't want to just try to move them, so I'll just redraw them. Okay. Breakout or breakdown. The apex is getting tight. It's getting tight. So 145. 50, 146.70. That is key resistance, all right? We are bullish and we're wedging right into the resistance there. And remember, we have our big inverted head and shoulder pattern, triangle, whatever you want to call it. You know, it's just bullish. Still bullish. All right. Let's go over to the Swissy. So the Swissy, I'm a little bummed out about that we've come all the way down to where we've, basically, my break-even point was hit overnight. I'm at 96.21. All right, 96.15 was the 618. We went as low as we're trying to create a hammer here on this on this daily, but we've got a lot of work to do, and it's a lot of time left in the day. The low was at 96.06, so 96 is going to be key support there. Resistance. Yeah, a little bummed out that the Swissy's come down this much, but I mean the dollar's just been under a lot of pressure. Gold's reversing, by the way. So, hold on. I'm sorry. I'll come back to that here in a second. Pretty sharp reversal here in gold. We have 13 minutes left, but that's a bearish engulfing candle right there. It's not completely, it's not, we still have some time, but keep that on the radar. Silver just did the same thing. Look at silver. That's a gnarly looking candle, huh? We just hit new trend highs. Quite possibly false breakout today if we don't, extend it. It's way too early in the day to start saying things like that. But yeah, that's not a good look yet. So if you guys have long precious metals, you got to be carefully watching them. Okay, where was I at? I was at the Swissy, right? All right. So resistance for the Swissy. $0.97. We're in a range. Let's go to the dollar yen. Dollar yen, it got beat up overnight. I mean, if like my wrap last night, I mean, dollar yen has a weak close and looks like 107.60, 107.60 to 107.70 major support will break. Next support at 105.50. I mean, it looked very vulnerable last night. I mean, it was pretty clear to me that we were going to break down. Now, it has not had as much follow through as I thought it was going to have, but it seemed to me that this was going to break without a doubt. Now, what will be really interesting is if we end up getting this. Now, remember, there's a weekly and monthly from the very, very, very historic low, right? Very, very historic low to the high. 38% retracement comes in at 106.60. Today's low has been 106.90. That's pretty damn close, right? I mean, you're talking 30 pips off on a monthly and weekly basis. For all intents and purposes, you can argue that we hit it. You know, I mean, we that maybe that was the low. I don't know. I'm not trading the yen. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not trading the yen. It's after what had happened this week. I was unsure about it last week, and this week I'm even more unsure about what I'm going to do with the yen. So if you guys are out there trading the yen, God bless you, and good luck. And hopefully I don't have to say good night, but it's not something that I am really too keen on trading right now because I don't understand what I should be doing with it. And it's okay. You guys understand it's okay not to understand. Like if you look at the market and you go, God, I just don't get it. What's happening here? Just stay away from it. I mean, that's my solution right now with the yen is I want to be long. Ultimately, I think the dollar yen is probably going to somewhere up here eventually. I just don't know if it's ready to bottom yet. I would rather us see a test and rejection from this yellow line, which is 105.50. I'd rather see that. Uh, but who knows if we're going to get it? You know, who knows? We just hit new trend lows over the last couple of days. Relative strength is divergent like nobody's business, but the 38% retracement comes in. So, all right, so figuring out where's the 127% extension of this move. Yeah, we got to go with the running assumption that we are going to continue lower. 127% extension is at 106.50. That'll be really close to that 38%. And maybe if we get to 106.50, it's worth taking a pop shot at it. I don't know on a Friday, but 106.60, which is the monthly level. Okay, that one right there. Okay, then you got your 127% extension right there too. Confluence, right? Resistance now. All I know, well, we can clearly tell you that this is resistance. That's pretty simple. 107.60, right? Clearly that's resistance right there. That and 108. All right, so 107.60, 108, and we are in a bearish trend. Okay. All right. Canadian. Now, obviously, we have the Bank of, or excuse me, that we have GDP, Canadian GDP today. So here we are skating across the lower trend line. We hit 125. Remember, the 786 retracement is at 125.14. That's on a, the last dip that we had before the rally to new highs. So we're at the 786 retracement. Here, let's get rid of this really quick. And I know a lot of you guys continue to try to, buy these lows. Listen, I'm still in my long. I'm not happy about it, but I'm not I'm not adding to it. If you keep buying it and selling it and losing money, buying it and selling and losing money, buying it and selling and losing, you just keep locking in loss after loss after loss. If you're going to trade it, stay with it, and figure out where you need to like really draw the line. Like I know below 125, I need to start thinking about pulling the plug. And if Canadian GDP comes in stronger than expected today, then I'm going to have to pull the plug on the dollar Canadian. I have to, take my losses. But I'm looking for a daily close below 125. And yesterday somebody said, "Hey Blake, we got a hammer." It was just way too early, way too early. Right now we still have some time, and I think at this stage we have to break 126 to take the downside pressure off. Okay, okay, but 125 is support, 126 is resistance, and it's bearish. Now, somebody also pointed out, hold on, 126. Somebody pointed out that crude oil's in a an ascending wedge. So let's take a real quick look at that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's an ascending wedge. That is 161% extension, which is the, golden fib of this last move down into the channel. Here, let's get. Oh no, I'm sorry. It was this last move right here. 161% extension comes in right at today's highs. Oh, maybe it'll turn. We'll see. We will see. All right. I'm going to put you guys on hold for a few minutes. When I come back, we have the Kiwi, the Aussie, dollar index, and everything else as we get ready for today. All right. Thanks, everyone. Back in a few moments. All right, good morning, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar, and the euro dollar just pushing above 114 towards its highs of the session. The dollar is just it's having a really tough time, especially against the euro. I mean, the euro's looking pretty damn strong. Cable's up above 146. The Kiwi and the Aussie are underperforming right now. That's probably due more to the equity markets not looking so hot at the moment, and the Canadians trying to bounce from 125, but that's probably just some positioning ahead of the positioning ahead of the Canadian GDP numbers. Also just to note that gold did not. I don't think it did, and it was silver. I don't think we got a bearish engulfing candle on these hourlies. Well, actually, silver, yeah, that's not a good looking candle. Let's go look at gold. Yeah, gold didn't. Gold was trying to do it, but it didn't. Still, there's a doji up there, but silver, that's a not a pretty looking candle. Euro's still extremely strong. Look at how strong the euro is. I mean, we're almost at new highs on the session in the euro dollar. And man, look at the Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand. I'm almost considering taking some profits here. Hold on. Euro Aussie. Just stand by. Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Because if this breaks out, this could be a pretty big breakout too. The flip side to that is, let's go over to the 4-hour. Sorry, I'm just, might have to do some business, guys. Just bear with me. All right. See, I mean, that's a flag. I mean that's it's just a damn flag pattern, and so I don't know if I really want to take profits at this point. Let me turn this off. Looks strong, doesn't it? Show does. Let's go look at the Euro New Zealand really quick. Yeah, so I'm not going to take any profits there. I don't feel like I should right now. Because especially if the equity markets sell off, then you take the Euro New Zealand and Euro Aussie, and we'll be breaking out pretty good. 152 is possible. 149.50. You're talking at another 250 pips from where we're currently sit. That looks doable. Okay, and like I told you guys a couple of days ago, what did I want to happen in the Aussie? I wanted the Aussie to rally so I could short the. Do you remember the superlative that I used? I know I wanted to rally to 77 cents. It didn't quite make it to 77 cents. It made it to 76.80, but you know what I wanted to do with it, right? I wanted to short the what out of it, PP out of it, right? So, obviously I was trying to keep that on, looking at different options too. So, yeah, I especially when the market's risk averse, I think being short the Aussie and quite possibly short the Kiwi too is a good thing. All right, anyway, let's go back into the Aussie and the Kiwi. Let's go into the Kiwi. So the Kiwi's been a walking disaster as far as what do we do here? Trying to stretch its legs. 786 retracement. Still having a problem with. So that's 77 cents. This support right through here is obviously holding. That is 69.30. So 70 cents is resistance. And 69.30 is support. We are in a range. And I suspect if we break through the 69.30, you're going to see some sellers come in, deflated buyers. They'll be like, oh, we're not gonna build on that rally, following the RBNZ, that type of attitude. Aussie. Now remember, I wanted to get to 77 cents. We didn't quite make it there. We couldn't even make it to the 618. It's the 50% retracement that's rejecting us thus far. But any move up to 77 cents is still a great short. Even if we have weak U.S. data today and we scream up here, the euro is strong. 70 cents. 77, sorry. 77 cents. Key resistance, and then I mean, 76.20 is support, guys. Below 76.20. Which we're pretty close to. So 76 below 76.20, you're talking 75.50, and then what movie is that from? Quick. The only movie, by the way, I've ever walked out of the movie theater. There's one movie only movie that I actually walked out of the theater. Dude, where's my car? I actually walked out of the theater. My wife, well, it wasn't actually my choice. I could have powered through, but my wife was like, "We're leaving. This is the most stupid," and then we had to walk out. Anyway, yeah, 7620. Oh, what was it before that? 75. Oh shoot. Don't want to do that. 7550. Point 7550. Uh, yeah. And then that's when they're in the drive-through. This is the funniest part of the movie, in my opinion. It tells you how bad my sense of humor is, right? Okay, let's go to the dollar index. Okay, so there's the dollar index. My, what key support are you on? We're really approaching. There's 93. Obviously, here let's zoom in here. Well, before we zoom in, let's do this. That's critical. I mean, that's like no matter what, that has to hold. And if that breaks, I will be the first one to tell you that the dollar is going to hell in a handbasket. Okay, why? Because if you don't know, if you don't know why that's so important, that's the breakout point right here from 2004, 2005. And we tagged that and reversed, and I blogged about it too. I'm 90% sure I blogged about it on pibzar.com when that happened at 92.60. Okay, bounced like a bat out of hell back up to highs. And I'll tell you, if we break that, it's not going to be pretty for the dollar. Not going to be pretty. 93 will be support today. Resistance is now, we have to get back. This is all the dollar yen doing, just so you all know. I mean, it's just the dollar yen just getting destroyed. We have to get above that low here, which is 93.68. There's this 93.63. So really it's 93.70 to take any of the downside pressure off. 9370. We're at the bottom end of our range, guys. We're threatening to go from a range environment to a bearish trend, you know? Okay. Peso. Peso's weak. I'm a little concerned about this one. We are at the lower end of this big yellow box that I've got up on the screen, right? And I'm concerned. I'll be really concerned should we break below 708. We've been there before. The low actually is 709. We have 127% extension at 708. It's doable. Very doable. I'm not happy about it. We get a close below there and I have to pull the plug. Support is 17.08. Key support. Resistance right now. And then 1730. Where I be right here? Okay. The bottom end of our range. Norwegian krona, thanks to unbelievably strong crude oil, we're at lows, like at lows. We're 807, what's the low? 808. Below that is 8. Hello, 8. Wait, hold on before I do that. Actually, 803. Damn crude oil, man. It's so strong. Norwegian krona, 8.03, 8.08. Okay. Resistance is whatever. We had resistance yesterday. It's right here, basically. 818. Is that right? Yeah. I'm still going to put it in a range. I know we've just been kind of just grinding lower. It's due to crude oil and just a weak dollar in general. But hey, the euro's back below 114. Interesting. Oh. Okay. US dollar, Swedish krona, really close to support. Very, very close to support. If I'm moving a little slow today, it's because I got up really early. Who in God's name gets up at 2 o'clock in the morning? So stupid. All right. 803. 818, and we are getting, I mean, this 803 level, mega support. We can break it today. We can break it. We can break it because if we have weak inflation data, PCE, income spending, we can break down. The dollar can break down today. It could very, very well break down. And that is the truth. All right, there is your, Aussie. There's your bias chart. Live it, love it, copy it. Let me take some questions. All right, now I'm going back to the way back.